What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mello. It was 2009, the night before the Grammys, when the infamous incident between Rihanna and Chris Brown took place. Rihanna was nominated for 3 Grammys and Chris Brown 2. Now, unfortunately, neither of them would see the stage the next day as the world awoke to news that Chris Brown had assaulted Rihanna. In an article by E! News, they recount a sworn statement made by an LA detective. The article says the police report recounted it all in careful detail. Brown's rage had been relentless. In a sworn statement, an LA detective said that Brown had punched Rihanna repeatedly in the face and arm, even biting her ear, all while maneuvering their rental down the street. When the car stopped, he put her in a headlock, causing her to slowly lose consciousness as she struggled to break free. At one point, the detective alleged, he even threatened to kill her. Later on, a photo of the abused Rihanna face was leaked, and it left the world in shambles. After the incident, the trajectory of Chris Brown's career would never be the same. Check out this video of Chris explaining what happened that night. Now, it is a few minutes long, but I think it provides some really good insight.
Being a young kid, but the maturity level I had in my beliefs of what I wanted with my girlfriend, you know what? I want to marry you, but I want, before, you know, we go any further, I just want to be able to be honest and be completely real with you about everything you've ever had a question about or a doubt about. Or she had asked me, like, right when we first started dating, hey, you ever mess with this person? And this person, she worked for me at the time. And I said, nah, man, you know what it is. Just, you know, I brushed it to the side. One, I didn't want her knowing my business. Two, I just didn't know who she would tell if I tell her what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? So around like the 8th month or maybe like a little bit after that VMA performance, I just broke it to her. I said, hey, I want to marry you, but I want to be real with you. I want to be honest with you and tell you, you know, everything. This is what it is. Before we were together, me and this other girl did have sex. My trust totally was lost with her. You know what I'm saying? She hated me. Like, after that, I tried everything. Like, she didn't care. Like, she just didn't trust me after that. From there, it just went downhill because, you know, it would be fights, it would be verbal fights, physical fights as well, mutual sides, and this is the first time I get to say anything. And like I said, I still love Rihanna, but I'm just gonna be honest. We would fight each other, she would hit me, I would hit her. But it never was okay. It was always a point to where we talk about it, like, yo, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I don't like that. I don't like you slapping me. If I go on stage, I got a scratch on my face, and I gotta explain it like, oh, no, I fell, or like, or like, if you got a scar or whatever, or a bruise, you gotta put makeup on it. I feel like shit. Like, I'm not ever trying to put my hands on any female. Like me, I felt like a fucking monster. 7 years ago, when I was about 17, 18, you know, the whole Rihanna incident happened. And, you know, a lot of that changed my life. And that night at that Clive Davis party, that I made sure the person that I was involved with before, I said, hey, if you can't come around to these places, and the person comes right to the table and say, hey, what's up, y'all? And I already know it's an issue, so I say, hey, cool, and I keep it, and they keep it moving and leave. I look over at Rihanna, and she's bawling, she's just crying. In the middle of the ceremony about to start, she's just crying, and I'm like, yo, please, babe, don't do this. Like, don't do this in here. Like I didn't know, I promise, I swear to God, I didn't know. So she got over it, she started drinking a little bit, we both were drinking a little bit. We was tipsy, laughing, joking, you know, and then we left.
And Juan, just a few hours ago, we saw Chris Brown drive off. According to sources, the alleged fight broke out inside a Lamborghini that was located at Hancock Park.
As you know, young relationships, any relationship is based on trust, but because I told her that, she didn't trust me with anything. So I would give her the option of, oh, you can look at my phone. So I gave her the phone. She looks at the phone and there's a message and it says, kill the Grammys, do your thing. And I didn't read the rest of the message, I didn't open it. So she opened the message, and the rest of the message said, I'll see you at the Clive party. So off top, she thought I was lying. She starts going off, she throws the phone, I hate you, whatever. Starts hitting me, we're in a little Lamborghini. You know, she's fighting me, and I'm like, look, I'm telling you the truth, I swear to God. You know, I'm telling you the truth, stop it. So then she hits me a couple more times, and I just kind of it doesn't go from translation to, let's sit down, I'm telling you the truth. It goes to, now I'm finna be mean and be evil, arguing. So then, like I remember she tried to kick me. It's like just her just being upset. But then I really hit her, like I with a closed fist, like I punched her. you know, and it busted her lip. And when I saw it, I was in shock. I was like, fuck, why the hell did I hit her? Like, so from there, she just spit in my face, like spit the blood in my face, and I'm like, yo, so it enraged me even more. Like, it's a real-on fight in a car. We driving down the street. So I'm like, yo, man, y'all, we tripping. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? She's trying to grab for my phone, and I'm not giving her my phone to throw it out the window. So she grabs my nuts. And when she do that, I bite her arm, I think, as I'm driving, because I'm still trying to drive. And it's just like a petty, like, stupid fight, bro. And I'm just realizing it. I'm like, look, what the hell am I doing, bro? Like, what are you, like, you honestly doing this in the car right now? Like, what are we doing? So I pull over in Hancock Park, maybe less than 2-3 miles from my house, because I'm just trying to resolve the situation. I'm not trying to fight any further. I don't want to, like, I love her. I don't want to hurt my girlfriend, you know? So I pull over, and I said, look, like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, I'm crying, she's crying. Like, I'm telling you the truth. I swear to God, like, I didn't do it. I didn't know she was fucking coming. I didn't know, I promise. She just didn't believe me. Like, I just know you lying to me, lying to me. So she takes the keys out of the car. I'm in park. She takes the keys out of the car and throws fakes like she throws them out the window. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I get out the car. When I get out the car, I'm looking for the keys in somebody's yard. And she yells out her door, help, he's trying to kill me. I said, stop, like, we gonna get in trouble. So I'm looking for the keys. She's sitting on the keys. So I'm like, you know what? I can't play this game with you. So I'm getting my bags out of the car. She takes my CDs. This is back when I would record on CDs. You couldn't put it on your phone when you leave the studio. So I had new music, and she was just scratching it up. I just seen her scratching it up with the keys. So I just snatched the bag, and I was like, you know what? You got the keys. You can drive home. By this time, her lip was busted. She had a knot because I pushed her head up against the window. And you know, a lot of the times, like, I look back at that picture and I'm just like, yo, bro, like, that's not me, bro. That's not me. Like, I hate it to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna haunt me forever.
I was only 12 at the time of the incident, so I wasn't around on social media, but I remember Beyonce even went on Larry King Live and addressed the situation. And we all know Beyonce, like, she does not talk about anything in her personal life. I'm still trying to figure out who Becky is and why Solange was whooping Jay-Z in that elevator. Check this video out.
Your husband, Jay-Z, had a lot to do with Rihanna's early career. And back in February, he said he thought everyone should support her in that mess with Chris Brown. How do you feel about that whole thing?
Well, I think she's doing a lot better. She is such a very talented woman and very smart. And I think it's really important in those times of need that people give people their privacy. So all you can do is pray and you know, leave it up to the people around her and her to make great decisions, and she has and she will, and you know, I'm here to support her as well as all of my family. She's like family to me, and all of Jay and all of my family.
You know, not that it's any excuse at all, but I didn't realize just how young Rihanna and Chris Brown was at the time of the incident. Chris was 19 and Rihanna was 20. Like, they were both babies. You know, as there's three sides to every story, his, hers, and the truth, let's check out what Rihanna had to say about the situation.
I am strong. This happened to me. I didn't cause this. I didn't do it. This happened to me, and it can happen to anybody. There are a lot of women who've experienced what I did, but not in the public. So it made it really difficult. I just felt like, oh my God, here goes my little bit of privacy, just exposed. Like, it's something that nobody wants anybody to know. So here I am, the whole world knowing.
Why be ashamed?
Because I didn't want people to think that that's the kind of person I fell in love with that person. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing that that's the type of person that I fell in love with. So far in love, so unconditional that I went back.
On average, I think it
That's
takes a
not right.
woman 7 times before she leaves.
8 or 9, actually. And I don't want that to happen. That's not what I want to teach people. But again, people, I'm a human being, and people put me on a very unrealistic pedestal and all these expectations. I'm not perfect. Also, it's pretty natural for that to be the first reaction. It's completely normal to go back. You start lying to yourself. The minute the physical wounds go away, you want this thing to go away. This is a memory you don't want to have ever again. When I realized that my selfish decision for love could result into some young girl getting killed, I could not be easy with that part. I couldn't be held responsible for telling them, go back. Chris, even if Chris never hit me again, who's to say that their boyfriend won't? Who's to say that they won't kill these girls? And these are young girls, and I just didn't realize how much of an impact I had on these girls' lives until that happened. It was a wake-up call. It was a wake-up call for me, big time. Especially when I took myself out of the situation. And I'll say that to any young girl who's going through domestic violence. Don't react off of love. F love. To come out of the situation and look at it third person and for what it really is, and then make your decision, because love is so blind.
After the incident, Chris Brown was made public enemy number 1. 13 years later, the incident still follows Chris Brown to this day. But this isn't the first time something like this has happened in the media. Now, I'm sure we all know about Ike and Tina Turner. You know, then came Bobby and Whitney, followed by Chris Brown and Rihanna. As Rihanna and Chris Brown was our generation of a celebrity domestic violence relationship, it seems like this generation has found theirs. Chrisean and Blueface. You know, I didn't know Blueface and I was the same age. Now, I don't know if it's the booger sugar, but I thought he was at least 30. Chrisean and Blueface met during Blues Girls Club. In an article by Showbiz Corner, it says I don't know if I would call him prominent, but it says prominent rapper Blueface initially met Chrisean Rock at the beginning of the pandemic at his house in LA. According to Wassup, Tatiana rapper Blueface debuted his lineup of ladies on his OnlyFans reality show, Blue Girls Club, a series where women stay in his house for a month straight. The article goes on to say, among many women, Chrisean Rock was one of them. The controversy started when an altercation between her and Whack 100 became viral on the web on November 28th, 2021, according to The Sun. The situation became under control after the police interference. The video was live streamed on Instagram. Now, check out a little bit of what went down between Chrisean Rock and Whack 100 to see what made her go viral. And I do want to warn y'all, it may be disturbing to some.
You already out on bail. No, I'm not relaxing. Ain't nothing mucking me out like that, bro. I'll tell you what. Dead on, she gonna get up out of here one way or another. I take the hit. On the dead on. No. She gonna get up out of here, dog. She gonna get up. I don't give a I take the hit. No. She gonna get up. No, get up out of here. Get up out of here.
I think what makes this particular situation with Blueface and Chrisean Rock different is social media. I mean, this is the first time we've seen a public figure relationship play out in real time like this. And I mean, we see everything. Every step, every hit, and every kick they throw at each other. Now, taking a step back, I blame a few people. And first, I blame us. If we didn't give them time of day and ignored them, I think they would have went away. But I believe they're constantly being pushed in our face because there's unfortunately a demand for them. Now, who's demanding them? I truly don't know, but I do want y'all to step forward because we gotta talk. Now, second, I blame social media outlets like the Shade Room. Now, I love the Shade Room, okay? Do not get me wrong. It definitely keeps me up to date on all the mess. But when did your integrity come in and you choose to no longer put this destruction into your community? I mean, the Shade Room is hands down the #1 source where people go to get all their information on Black pop culture. So many young Black kids are on the Shade Room and they're constantly seeing the domestic violence between Chrisean Rock and Blueface. Just in the past 6 months alone, the Shade Room has glorified their domestic violence relationship with headlines like Chrisean admits to physically assaulting Blueface's mother and sister. Blueface and Chrisean picture all loved up in club just weeks after video of physical altercation. Chrisean is in police custody after another public altercation. Footage shows an altercation between Chrisean family and Blueface family. That's just to name a few. The list literally goes on and on. What are young Black kids to think if they only see domestic violence relationships? I've always been one of those people who can separate fiction from real life, but there are so many people out there who can't, especially young, impressionable kids. I mean, even some adults can't separate it. Now, if you were like me and was hoping that Chrisean Rock and Blueface's saga was coming to an end, you were wrong. Zeus unfortunately announced that Chrisean Rock and Blueface would soon have their own show, Crazy in Love. Check this tacky mess out.
I was born to haunt you, terrorize you in my love. Made just to taunt you.
I love you.
I need you.
It's a vibe all the time. It's a vibe all the time.
I think the thing that's most disheartening about this all is you could just see Chrisean Rock deteriorate in front of your eyes. I mean, what used to be a beautiful woman just seems so empty. She went and got a bunch of tattoos with his face, I think even his name. Her tooth is gone and her voice is just so deep and raspy now. Her voice is deeper than mine. The last thing I want to see is another beautiful soul gone because they think this is what love looks like. Or they think this is how you're supposed to act in a relationship. It's not. Nothing about these two people are positive, nor do they put positivity out into the world. I mean, it's just violence. They're either fighting each other or each other's parents. Like, it's a mess. The evolution of celebrity domestic violence relationship is getting pretty scary. It went from being taboo and people canceling the abuser to the world now praising them and giving the abusers their own show. So my question is, what's the difference between Rihanna and Chris Brown and Blueface and Chrisean Rock? I mean, if you ask me, I don't see one. To any young people out there watching this, a domestic violence relationship is just never the way. As someone who went through one for a bit, if it happens once, it will happen again. You know, and I'm not a violent person, nor is my partner a violent person at the time either. But sometimes we just brought the very ugly out in each other and it just wasn't worth it. They say love is blind, you know, but you always got to remember to squint, okay? You know, you always want to look out for those red flags and leave when it gets violent. I was young and dumb and I still kind of am. You know, I'm still learning, but I am very thankful to have learned that lesson early on in life. Now it's something that I refuse to take, and it's also something that I refuse to put out. We live and we learn, right? You know, I'm not sure what the future holds for Chrisean Rock and Blueface. The other day, it was announced that Blueface was arrested for attempted murder, and if you thought that was going to make Chrisean Rock jump ship, she had a life jacket on. Go ahead and check this out.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Rog. I'm checking in with the fans, the love, whatever. Stop playing with me. For everybody that keeps saying it's a sign to leave, what the f is you talking about, bro? Stop playing. Niggas never left me when I went in. You know what? I'm going to court tomorrow, and that's all that matters. He coming home. I don't know what y'all talking about. But tune in on our documentary, our TV show is Zeus Network. We outside. And don't be surprised when I get another chain on my face, another tat on my face. What? What's up? I'm riding, I'm sliding.
And there you have it. She's not leaving him. And you know, to each his own. They're both adults and they can both make their own decisions. I just want to encourage you all, especially any young ladies out there, do not be a Chrisean Rock. Okay? Lock in your Sierra prayer and know that a good man is coming to you one day. A man who loves you doesn't hit you. A man who loves you doesn't let you fight their parents. And a man who loves you would not sit there and let you deteriorate for the whole world to see. But a man who loves you is kind. A man who loves you protects you. And a man who loves you will uplift you and put you on a pedestal at your best for the world to see. But again, these are just my black man thoughts. If you enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, as that's okay too. You know, we agree to disagree sometimes over here. Whether you gave this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on the video. Now, what do you all think about Chrisean Rock and Blueface's relationship? Do you have a similar experience? If so, how were you able to finally leave? And as always, if you're not already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, as I am on the journey to 100 subscribers. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and I'll catch you all on the next video.